But again, it has everything to do with who He is in my life.
Yes, thank you, Father. Hallelujah.
God, there's no one like you. There's no one above you. There's nothing greater. So God, on today we come to lift you up. We come to glorify your name. We come to give you what's just due. With all the things that's happening in the world, God, we come to seek you.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord. You're worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy. God, all praises.
Yes.
God, we bless you.
Hallelujah.
And we thank you for meeting us here on today.
Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes.
Come on, let's put our blessings. Let's up all over the building. Real quick, when we clap for each other, we clap about here because that's common, that's cool. But when we clap for God, we clap above our heads because He's above everything. He's greater than everything. So I don't applaud Him like I applaud everybody else. I applaud Him over my head to let Him know and recognize He's greater. He's greater. He's greater. He's greater. He's greater. He's greater. Quickly tell them, I've come to take off on today.
I come to take off on today.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Lord.
Anybody going up this year?
Hallelujah.
I don't care what's happening in America, but I'm going up. I don't care what's going on in my neighborhood, I'm going up.
Thank you, Jesus.
And it's getting crazier and crazier because they had a shooting at the Braintree Mall. So I can't go to the food court to get something to eat. But in spite of all the craziness, I'm still going up. Meet me in Luke chapter 22. We're going to start at verse 31. I'm going to hit you with something that you probably don't expect, but that's my intention every Sunday. To those of us who are visiting with us for the first time, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Amen.
Luke chapter 22. We're going to meet and land in verse 31. This is the love month because of Valentine's Day and all that good stuff. So I figured I was going to come right out the gate with something you didn't anticipate as it pertains to love. If you got to say, I'm waiting on you.
I'm waiting on you.
If you don't got to say, you waiting on me.
You waiting on me.
Y'all look happy today. I don't know if it's because Jesus is great or the Patriots are playing. Either way, I'm happy for the smiles. And it reads, Luke chapter 22, verse 31 says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan demands to have you that he may shift you like wheat. But I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. And when you have turned again, strengthen your brothers. Peter said to him, Lord, I'm ready to go with you both to prison and to death. And Jesus said, verse 34, and Jesus said, I tell you the truth, Peter, the rooster will not crow this day until you have denied me 3 times that you know me. I want to come from the title today, Love Hurts.
All right, preacher. Yeah.
Let's go for our affirmation. I rose to make a difference. I'm here for a reason. I was chosen for a purpose. I shall prosper in my season. There is nothing that will stop me when my God is leading. I'm driven and determined, always succeeding. Every day I impact the world and change the lives of those around me. I have the power to do anything with the word of God that's inside me. No weapon formed against me shall ever find victory, for I shall rise and conquer through Christ who strengthens me. I speak life to my struggles. I fight every temptation. I climb out to an altitude where doubt finds elevation. I will push past good in order to be great. Fearfully and wonderfully made. I will elevate. I will elevate. I will. I shall. I must elevate. You may God bless you again on today. As we're looking again at our love month, we're looking at love hurts. Anybody in the room know that love hurts? I know you talk about love is wonderful and it's bliss and it's all these things and the butterflies and all these things I feel. But guess what? Love can hurt. Anybody been hurt by love? Don't raise your hand. Somebody next to you might not know you all that well. But if you lived any kind of life and you really fell in love, it can hurt. It can hurt. And often people feel, and the ones that hurt you the most are the ones who's like, I got you. Ain't nothing going down. Yo, something going down, I got you. And then when you really get in trouble, be like, where are they? I thought they weren't going to leave. I thought they'd always be here. So I don't determine friends based on sunny days. I base friends on storms. Who's in the storm with you will determine who's really with you.
That's it. Talk about it.
And Jesus is no exception. He has got this group of guys. He's got one guy who he's really pouring into. And that's another thing. You can pour into some people. You can invest your time in some people. You can do what you need to do with some folks. And they still hurt you.
Amen. Preaching.
You can still get hurt. And you're supposed to be my road dog. You're supposed to be there for me forever. You're supposed to have my best interest, and they still hurt you.
My Lord. Jesus.
The ones who are usually really close, the ones who are really supposed to have your back, the ones who will ride or die, the ones who remind you when nobody else is here, I got you. And then storms, things occur, and you find yourself with people who end up hurting you. Some of you in the room, and I want to help you on today, some of us have not recovered from some of those hurts. Because you still can't believe after all this time, it happened. There was somebody who hurt you, who you was real close to back in junior high school. And I can't believe I said junior high school. We was almost at recess. You remember that day at recess when y'all went to the whatever, and y'all supposed to went there together, and the person who was supposed to have your back didn't have your back, and you still ain't got over it. So even though you cool with them on Facebook, you ain't cool with them. Because they hurt you.
My Lord, my Lord. Bless you, Jesus.
You got relationships with people, and even in your marriages, you're going through some things, and in your relationships, you're going through some things, and the people who have your best interest still hurt you, still don't have your back the way that you think they should have your back, because realistically, when somebody loves you, they got you like you got them.
Amen. God.
And when that does not happen, even at a 90, 100%, there's still some kind of hurt in the 10%. Some of us are hurt in the 5%. And I'm not trying to downgrade the whatever the percentage is, but hurt is hurt.
That's right.
Because whatever happens to me that I didn't anticipate had an impact on me, so it has to have some value. Y'all still here?
Amen.
Don't worry, I know how to preach into an empty room.
Preacher.
So, Jesus says to Simon, he says, listen, the enemy is trying to get you. The enemy is looking to grab hold of you. And everything, and I posted this yesterday on Facebook, I said, in ministry, it's never personal, it's spiritual.
Amen.
When you have enemies in ministry. Because there's a spirit working on somebody or in somebody to attack you.
Come on now. Amen. Say that.
Can I say that again? When there's an attack on you, we often take it personal. And because we take it personal, we want to get in our flesh.
Say that.
But if you are in any aspect of doing God's work, you cannot go after anybody in flesh in revenge. You got to turn it over to God.
Right.
Because it's a spiritual matter.
Yeah.
So when I would have fought, I have to pray.
Tell it.
When I want to raise up, I have to bow down.
Amen. Tell it.
Talk
Tell
about
it.
it.
Go ahead.
Because I find myself, it's quick because the enemy is looking. And see, also as I said, for those who wasn't with us initially when we first started the church, at the service in the beginning of the service over on today, I was talking about, there's some enemies that's coming up against your ministry, but you got to recognize how valuable you must be. How great is your promise that the enemy, I said our church hasn't taken off like it needs to, but while we taxiing on the runway, we getting attacked. I can't even get up good, and I'm already getting hit. You know how severe it is? When I go out to my, if I go outside and go by my window by my office, there's a little pellet hole in my window, which reminds me I'm always under attack. So I don't know who shot the pellet that hit the glass that made a little shadow, whatever. But it's a reminder to me I'm always under attack. But regardless to whatever attacks you may be under, God is still in control. You can still be victorious. And you got to recognize that the receipt of doing good work is trouble.
My God, my Lord.
I know that's hard for y'all to take in. The receipt. You know how you get a receipt when you pay for something? The receipt of doing something good, the receipt of doing something wonderful is trouble.
Amen.
Can somebody celebrate that you can come to the realization and be mature enough to accept the fact that I can be trusted with trouble?
All right now. All right. Yeah.
Be trusted with trouble. So this enemy, Jesus says, listen, I've been praying for you, man, because the enemy is really trying to get you.
Yes.
He's really trying to get you. And I'm praying that your faith don't fail, because the opposite of faith is fear. Whenever fear emerges, then you're already destroyed. When fear enters in and you don't have faith anymore, you won't do anything. And fear and faith are both invisible. You got that?
Yeah.
Faith and fear is invisible. It is what you feel about what you're about to do. So, regardless of what you're about to step into, until you do it, what you're feeling and what you're stepping into is invisible until you carry it out. Now, faith says I'm going to go and step off this pulpit and I'm going to land. Fear says if I step off, I'm going to get hurt. Fear says I'm going to get injured. So all these things are both present, but they're both invisible. I have to come to a conclusion before I step out.
That's right. That's right.
Jesus is saying to Peter, I'm praying that your faith won't fail. And when you've turned again, strengthen your brothers. Once you've gotten this thing, I want you to help somebody else. But then Peter, like many of us, Jesus, I got this. Jesus, don't worry, I got your back. I'm in your corner. Yo, if nobody come through, I'm here. And Jesus has to check him and say, listen, before the rooster crows 3 times this day, you're going to deny me.
All right.
You're going to diss me.
Go ahead.
For many of us, okay, let me just speak for myself. If I know in advance that you're going to diss me, I'm probably not going to deal with you.
Go ahead.
Right.
That's me. Y'all might be a little deeper than me. But if I know a little bit down the line, you don't got me, then let's end this now. Hi, how you doing? I'm good. Goodbye. Our intro is our departure.
Yes.
Because I already see where this is going, and player, I don't like it.
All right.
But Jesus says, listen, I know you, Peter, and before this day is over, you're going to diss me. And Peter's like, come on, I got you. You're going to deny me 3 times. Not just one. One time's bad enough. Somebody be like, oh, no, that dude, come on. Never know that guy. 3 times? Yeah, that's rough. So Jesus says to him, listen, I'm praying that you don't fail. And once you got to the place where you need to go, I want you to stay in there. And Peter says, I got you. And because Peter is running mouth and don't just... See, here's the other thing. When Jesus is talking to us, we don't got to respond all the time. Just hush.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you. I'm praying that you don't fail. And I'm praying that once I build you up, you'll be able to build other people up. This is not an opportunity to you reassure God what you're going to do. Because a lot of us have lied at the altar.
Yeah.
God, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you. God, I'm giving myself away. And then you left with all of you. So you went from William McDowell, give myself away, and then you said, then you took all yourself back. So you left Jesus with nothing. But there's got to come a place and a time where you just say, okay, God, I hear you, and I'm going to follow. Here is what, so this is the middle of the story. I've started you all in the middle of the story, so I apologize for those of you who I can't believe he started this in the middle. Well, let me help you because we're going to backtrack a little bit. Can we backtrack a little bit?
Go ahead.
Right. If we pick it up in Matthew chapter 4, verse 18 through 20, I'm going to turn for you. It says, while Jesus was walking the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, cast out the nets in the sea. They were fishermen. And he said to them, follow me, and I'll make you fishermen of men. Immediately, they left their nets and followed him. So the person who hurt you are people you picked in most cases.
Well,
this is someone that you said, I can see going further in life, and I can see doing great things with. So you pick this person who has hurt you. Again, if we know what's coming up down the line, we probably would have dealt with him. Not only Peter would I have not messed with, I definitely would have messed with Judas. If I know what Judas' intentions are, that Last Supper, that scripture would have said, and then Jesus left the room and they never saw him again.
well.
They went to the Garden of Gethsemane, but he was not there. Then Jesus took Judas in the back where the other disciples were waiting. Fill in the blank.
All right.
Because if I know ahead of time, I got to make sure I win or get away. Thank God I'm not Jesus. Y'all still be looking for sin. Should be covered.
Bless.
Say that.
So the first thing I want you to look at is the fact that Jesus picked Peter. Peter didn't just emerge on his team. He put him on the team.
It's true.
Who have you put on your team that has hurt you?
Jesus.
You can't be like, I can't believe it. Because look at that person. No, they there because you put them there. You put that person there. You picked them. Hey, come with me. And they left. And you thought because they came at you quick, they had you.
My Lord.
Be careful who comes quickly.
Preaching. My
Be
Lord.
careful who comes quickly.
Praise
I'm not saying you got to
God.
sit somewhere and convince somebody to come with you, because that's a waste of time too. But be careful who comes quickly. That says they dropped their nets and they came. So the first thing I want you to get in your mind and in your hearts and in your notes, you picked some of the people who have hurt you.
That's
Yes. Amen. Minister.
You have picked some of them because you saw something good in them. And see, here's the other thing about picking people. Sometimes you pick people because you see what you can do with them. And so you can do something with them, so it's not just about you, but it's also seeing how far you both can go.
All right. All
Then
right.
there's some people who have gotten connected with you to see how far they can go.
All right.
Well,
Now you're preaching.
Jesus.
You're preaching.
So it's just one thing if I'm doing this and we're a team. It's
That's
one thing
right.
if you just see me as a
That's
way
right.
to get higher.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
It was never about me, it was about where you can take me.
That's right. Amen.
My
So be careful of who you pick.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing that Jesus got to deal with, even as he's picking him because he knows all things, is this dude is going to deny me in a critical time in my ministry, a critical time in my life. But I'm still going to pick him. In
Yes.
fact, he picked you knowing that you was going to fall short.
Yes.
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 Amen.
My God.
We haven't been perfect. I'm not sitting here with a collar saying I got it together because I got a collar and I got to an elevated place in ministry. No, I failed God too.
Yes.
Yes, Lord.
But he picked me.
Yes.
My
Hallelujah.
God.
Shout out
Thank
to
you,
them.
Jesus.
And I've just been as guilty as some of you.
My God. My
Jesus.
God.
My
For how I've heard
Lord.
it.
My God.
The other thing that is difficult,
Lord.
so the first thing is that you pick these people. The second thing that's difficult we find in Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. And the scripture says, now Jesus came to the district and he asked the disciples, who do people say who the Son of Man is? And they begin to say John the Baptist and Elijah and Jeremiah. And he said, but who do you say I am? And then Peter jumps up and says, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, blessed are you, because flesh and blood has not revealed this, but the Father who is in heaven. So when everybody else can't define who you are, this person can.
Uh-huh.
So the first, not only have you picked them, but they know you.
Uh-huh.
How can somebody who know you hurt you? Because if you really know you, you know what hurts me.
Yes, sir. Have your way. Have your way. Shout out. Shout out.
If you really know me.
All right now.
Now, if you don't know me and we're acquaintances, whatever, it's fair game. But for those who know me
Yes, sir.
and hurt me,
Yes.
My
when
God.
all the rest of the crew, nobody of the other 11 couldn't define them, they could just say what everybody else said. But when it came to saying, but who do you say I am?
That's it.
People say a lot of stuff about y'all. somewhere. But there's got to be someone in your crew who can say, nah, that's a man of God. He loves his family. He's such and such. He reads his word. That's a woman of God. She prays. She's on her knees. She wants the best for people. Somebody should know you. Somebody should know you. So when they hurt you and they know you, what happened? I picked you. You can define me. You know how I roll, and you still don't deny me down the road. What made it even worse in that particular verse, Jesus says in verse 18 of chapter 16 of Matthew, he says, and I tell you, Peter, on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So now he's saying, I'm going to build something on what I've made you to be.
Yes.
I'm going to build something on what you've been able to establish. I'm going to build something on that word which you have proclaimed. Not only that, the gates of hell won't prevail, but then later on he tells them, I'm praying that your faith don't fail. Yeah. So I'm building something on you, but I want to always be praying that the foundation never comes underneath you. Yeah. And then a little short time later, Jesus began to show the disciples how he must go to Jerusalem. This is verse 21 of chapter 16 of Matthew. And he talks about how he's going to be turned over to the elders and the chiefs and the priests. And then on the third day, he's going to rise again. Verse 22, this is crazy. Peter took him to the side. He pulled Jesus aside. Hey, man, come here. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you for a second. Come here. He said, far be it from you, Lord, that this should happen to you. And Jesus said, Satan, get thee behind me. So not only did you pick them, not only do they know you, but you still got to correct them.
My Lord.
You should never let your people get to a place where you can't correct them. You can never let people get to a place where you can't say when you're doing the wrong thing, that you got to be able to check them. You got to be able to say, listen, that's not right. Because if I know you and you know me, we should be in a place where there's some kind of accountability of what we say and do to each other.
Amen.
So you pick the person, they know you, and you have to correct them. If that's not enough, we find that Jesus has picked him, and he's picked this guy. This guy knows him, but he still has to correct him. Then fast forward to the scripture that we're in. He says, you know, I'm praying that your faith does not fail, but you're going to deny me. And he says, no, I would never deny you. I got your back. I got your best interest. And then before all that even goes down, something else happens. Somebody says something else happens.
Something else happens.
Do you ever notice when you have people who are close to you, it seems like something else always happens? You know me. You know the things that hurt me. You know the things that bother me. You know the things that don't please me. And then we find Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, and the soldiers have come up. And what does Peter do? He cuts the ear off of somebody. That's right. So not only these people that you pick, not only these are people that know you, these are not only people that you are correct, but you find yourself fixing their mess.
All right, preacher.
Why is Peter with Jesus with a knife? I'm going to tell you why. Since y'all so doggone quiet. Just because you're in church don't mean some of your past ain't with you.
That's right.
Preach, preacher.
You better preach.
Peter was used to carrying a knife.
You better preach.
So just because he go to church don't mean the knife stays at home.
All right.
My Lord, my
Lord.
My Lord.
Just because you're in church don't mean your street is completely rubbed off.
All right.
My Lord.
Your mouth is still on you. Your hallelujah is more than your cuss words, but it's there.
All right.
My Lord,
Preach.
my Lord.
Tell us.
So God's trying to get you delivered from some stuff that you keep bringing to church.
All right.
My Lord. My Lord.
So he cuts the man's ear off, and now Jesus has to take that ear and heal the man.
Yeah.
Because the crew he's rolling with are still thugs in disguise.
My Lord. My Lord.
So I picked you, you know me, I have to correct you at times, and I'm still fixing your mess, and this is the person that's going to deny me.
Yes.
My Lord. My Lord. Jesus, mercy, Lord.
He could have got killed by those soldiers. But Jesus healed it, so they had no evidence if they say he cut his ear off. No, he didn't.
That's right.
I saw the man's ear on the floor. Man's ear on his arm, on his head. He was bleeding. I don't see any blood anywhere. not going to shag you on that. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. I looked in your face. Hey, wasn't me. I saw you coming. Wasn't me. Because Jesus fixed the evidence. And for those who have hurt you, you've covered them time and time again. Because you know Scripture says love covers a multitude of sins.
Yes. Yes.
So you keep covering somebody who's going to deny you. Somebody who's going to hurt you. And that's what hurts the most, because you could have left them out to dry. You could have left them a long time ago. You could have left them to their own devices. You could have left them alone.
Yes. My Lord.
And because of love, you stayed around.
Yes, Lord Jesus. Mercy, Lord.
You stayed around. You stayed around when you could have left. And you know, and of course, when they do cross you, you begin to start telling yourself, I should have left them. I had the opportunity to go and I didn't take advantage of it. It was in Luke chapter 22, verse 49. It says, those around saw what was about to follow, and they said, Lord, shall we strike with the sword? How is his church sounding like thugs? I'm glad I don't have to say this about my church, but I know some churches who be like, man, they was fighting in my parking lot. Man, they was fighting in the back of the church. Man, my deacon board was fighting in the conference room. How? When all this goes down, where is the love? Where is the Christ? Like, you've been with him 3.5 years, and then when trouble emerges, they say, yo, should we get him?
All right.
What y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? Don't get fooled by the collar player. Don't get fooled, man. Don't get fooled. Golden gloves 3 years in a row. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. Straight out of church. Not straight out of company, straight out of church. Straight out of church. How's this church sounding like thugs?
Well.
Yo, should we get him with this? Like they've done it before. Should we get him with the sword? Have you done this before? Y'all don't mess with the disciples. They wow. Some bad boys over there, man. Who's coming to the disciples? I'm not going to that party. They always fight. Lord, shall we strike them with the sword? And then one of them struck the servant of the high priest and cut his ear off while they was talking. That's like a sucker punch. You think we should? That's what it was. You think we should? Mid-sentence, and then one struck him. While they were talking. Church people.
Yes, Lord. That's it.
Church folks.
Show now.
Struck him. While they was talking. Hey man, what y'all think we should do? Peter like one. Commentary to like, and then Peter measured him up and sliced his ear off.
Yes.
That means they walking up, Peter like, I know how this ends. And Jesus has to fix the mess.
My God.
Jesus, in fact, verse 51 says, no more of this. And he touched the man's ear and healed him. No more of this. 54, they seized him. And then Peter goes off in verse 55. Then a servant girl sees him and saw him side of the light, looking at him close, said, this man was also with him. And he said, and then he denied and said, woman, I don't know him. This is the same dude who cussed before you got saved. It's the same dude who didn't have the best reputation. The one he picked said, I don't know him. You're discrediting yourself with someone who's been nothing but good to you.
All right.
You're denying the person who, by all right, you should have been in jail. You should have been put away. You could have died. But you're denying the person who had your best interest. The one who picked you when you wasn't worth being picked.
My Lord.
Credit you for building something as a foundation for something that was great. Still have to correct you. And then even when you messed up, fixed your mess.
My God.
And then when people say, Don't you know that person? I don't know him. How hurtful is that? Not only is that, it's the fact that Jesus said he was going to do it.